Hey everyone, and welcome to our WandaVision Episode 9 series finale breakdown. Today we're going to be talking all about the last episode of WandaVision and what this means for the future of the MCU. Also, we're going to talk about some fun Easter eggs that maybe were shown up throughout the whole series, and really just where the MCU can go from here. This probably isn't what you're normally used to, given that this is a learning channel, but learning comes in many shapes and sizes. And if you guys like this, maybe you'll see us do this again. Marvel has another show coming out in like 2 weeks, and it seems like they're going to be releasing shows all year in addition to the movies. So we'll have plenty of Marvel content for you guys. So I guess let's just get right into it. WandaVision Episode 9, titled Series Finale. I'm joined with Olivia and Sam. You guys probably know Olivia from Roundtable, 20s on Trending, some episodes of Inside Scoop, all that. And you know her. She's great. We love Olivia. And Sam, newcomer to I Feel Like Learning. Sam is a huge Marvel fan, so Olivia and I thought, who better to have on than Sam for this? So let's just get right into it. So do one of you want to just kind of start recapping episode 9, what happened plot-wise?
So it starts with Agatha all along, of course. I mean, that was whatever. So it started with Agatha still pretty much like using her magic to rope Tommy and Billy around the necks. Super not okay. You shouldn't be choking children. Then we see. Oh, I'm trying to think of what order this all occurs in.
I know.
Both visions show up. Monica shows up. No, Monica's
been there.
Monica's with Ralph. So
you're right.
Even Peters again.
Mm-hmm.
And
so we only find out it's Ralph.
It's Evan Peters. Wow, I can't speak. Even Peters.
Even Peters.
Even Peters.
Yeah, so we find out that Evan Peters has been Ralph the whole time. Agatha has referred to Ralph numerous times in the beginning of the series, especially. And we find out that he's been controlling him because of a necklace that he'd been wearing in every episode.
And he kidnapped Monica in the post-credit scene 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, episode 7.
So pretty much this whole like Ralph situation pretty much just tells us that this is not a multiverse situation, which was like a whole like theory that was happening, or like, oh my god, this confirms the multiverse because Evan Peters was Pietro in X-Men. His name is Ralph Boner. Anyway, he's pretty much just a loser who has a house, but that actually confirms the whole thing about like the whole reason that Wanda didn't trust Geraldine was like, or Vision didn't trust Geraldine was like, she didn't have a house. Well, Agatha does. So she really thought about her backstory. So pretty much Ralph has been like imprisoned in his man cave this whole time, but whatever, who really cares? Okay, so anyway, Monica eventually gets out. She breaks the necklace off of Ralph, so whatever, she gets out and she confronts Agatha, Wanda, Vision, White Vision, or she at least joins them. But back to the original Agatha versus Scarlet Witch. So the end of episode 8 is pretty much Agatha being like, oh, you're the Scarlet Witch. So Wanda's like, I'm no witch. I just have magic, which, okay. But anyway, they start throwing magic at each other. Wanda's able to get her kids away from Agatha. Good thing. Children should be safe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also there, we find out that Agatha's trying to take Wanda's magic. Yeah. And whenever Wanda kind of blasts her, Agatha kind of absorbs it, and that kind of ages up Wanda. So we see her hands starting to turn like...
Yes, her hands turning black at this point. They're it's like wrinkled, old. The more magic she uses, the more like decrepit her hand turns. But yes. So Agatha's pretty much saying, you don't know anything about magic because you don't know the runes, you don't know the spells. You should give me your magic because I know how to use it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, White Vision and White Vision show up. White Vision's goal is to eradicate the real Vision. Mm-hmm. Well, interesting, because from what we know, White Vision is the body of the original Vision, just rebooted and made more machine-like. While Vision he thinks is the real Vision is actually just a manifestation of Wanda's magic.
Mm-hmm. And then skipping ahead, that's a little fun conversation, I guess, between the two visions of them trying to figure out who's the real Vision. And I guess they come to the conclusion that either both of them are the real Vision or neither of them is the real Vision.
Yeah, as a
Yes.
partial philosophy major, I love that. I've heard that actual discussion before in class.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We have
I
an
saw
expert
something
here.
recently. So I saw something recently that the one way to break like a supercomputer is to give them an impossible riddle because they wouldn't know how to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's just like I don't know if that's like an actual thing or if that's just
But
people want
yeah,
to be
it's something
true.
to think about.
But I saw it like 2 nights ago before this came out, and I'm just like, wow. Good.
That's funny.
But also another side note, Paul Bettany came out with an interview yesterday morning on GMA saying, because he like had told like there's gonna be a cameo in the last episode.
Yeah.
He's always wanted to work with. So everyone's always been so excited for this episode. Like, who's the cameo? Everyone thought it was going to be Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, bunch of things. No, the cameo's White Vision. Paul Bettany always wanted to work with Paul Bettany, I guess.
Just a fun little teaser. My mom or my parents, they're also watching WandaVision, and I guess we're recording this on the day the finale came out, and my mom just texted me, "We're watching it right now. It's so
Ooh.
good."
There's
That's
just so
amazing.
much. It's actually 50 minutes of this episode. Every other episode was closer to like 30, but
Yeah,
nope, this one's a little longer. And
which I was happy about.
no, I was so happy. I thought it was gonna be 30 minutes and I was gonna be so disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, so we back to now Wanda, I guess. Wanda is in kind of the town square. That's where Agatha, I guess, disappeared to. And then Agatha does like a huge exposition drop. I feel like
Yeah,
not
very
that
villainous.
Agatha wasn't used well this episode, but I feel like they used her as an instrument to kind of further the plot. And I wish we got to see more Agatha development, especially
I
after we
agree.
got so much Wanda development in the last episode. But whatever, that's fine. We learn a lot. We learned
well, so up
that.
until this episode, I wasn't quite sure if I believed Agatha was evil, which is another thing because previously we just thought that she was like she just wanted to like understand what was going on. Like maybe she has some like bad ideas. Like obviously she shouldn't have killed her cousin, but like she was just like she literally stumbled upon Westview and was like, "Huh, I wonder what's happening." But up until this point, when she like threatened the boys, like I just thought she was gonna end up just teaching Wanda what was going on. Like I thought she was just like going to be a teacher. Like that's what she was gonna end up being.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once she started talking about taking the magic, I knew she was evil.
I feel like, and this is probably with a lot of people too, maybe not you guys, but just general fans. I feel like a lot of people are getting hyped up by all these fan theories of like all these people who are going to show up and how this is going to redefine the MCU completely.
Well,
and then
so
I feel like a lot of people were maybe a little let down because all these things didn't happen. But if you just step away from all those fan theories that looking back are absolutely ridiculous, if you just kind of step back from that.
That fan theory that I just told you, less a fan theory than just an observation, but also Agatha's actually WandaVision's teacher.
In the comics.
In the comics. She's a follower of Mephisto, who's kind of like the devil. But like,
and if you've heard our other podcasts about WandaVision, you would know Dan and I discussed this theory before. I was really hoping for it to happen. But yeah, just like you, Sam, it wasn't until now in this episode that I really thought I thought Agatha wasn't going to be the big bad of this series.
I didn't think so either. I thought
she was going to be a distraction. I didn't think that. I thought he was too mortal to be like a big enough of a villain, but I thought Agatha was going to be like working for someone, and this person is going to be the true new Thanos, basically. But like Dan
I think it was kind of smart though of Marvel not to introduce this whole new big bad quite this early, because we did just finish an entire like 22-23 movie Infinity Saga, and Thanos wasn't introduced until at least like 5-7 years into that.
No, you're right. And also not everyone has Disney Plus.
True.
Didn't he show up in Avengers the first time?
Yeah, that's only 4 years. First Iron Man was 2008, Avengers was 2012. That's 4 years. And that's
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was only the 4th movie he got introduced in.
The more you know.
Was Thanos in that one, or is Red Skull?
Red Skull was Captain America. So he was in Captain America, First Avenger. Thanos was the end scene for
the first one?
For the first Avengers. Because that's actually who was like Thanos, who Loki was like talking to. So Loki was
Gotcha.
in contact with the other, and the other worked for Thanos.
Okay.
So that was like
Yes.
the scene.
Honestly, kind of a big plot hole there. Like, why did Thanos give Loki the Mind Stone to begin with? He was collecting the stones, but like, whatever, we'll overlook that for now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a big thing too. I mean, I guess it was like risk factor, like game theory, but like also I would not trust Loki, the god of mischief.
Yeah,
Yes.
also, anyway, huge plot hole, but whatever, Marvel, you were still getting your bearings in the industry. You didn't know how big you would be. Whatever, we'll overlook it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Agatha, she talks to Wanda a lot about kind of just who she is. She's a Scarlet Witch. She doesn't need to do like spells or incantations to have magic.
She's no. She would be more powerful if she did know spells and incantations and runes. But actually, a comment that I hope you guys noticed. Agatha says that the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess this sets up Doctor Strange too. I mean, not that I didn't already know Wanda was going to be in it. That's already been like a thing confirmed.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
now we know that she's either going to go to Doctor Strange to learn how to use her powers, or they're going to be enemies. Because honestly, who knows?
I feel like I have a lot to say about this once we get to like the end of the episode and like those post-credit scenes, but
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Yes, post-credit scene, I have a lot of theories.
So we find out that that book that Agatha had is the Darkhold. This was previously in Agents of Shield, which I'm still not sure if Agents of Shield is part of the MCU, but
It's not necessary to watch, but I actually did not watch Agents of Shield past season 1.
I
Yeah,
never watched
me
it at
too.
all.
I know what you're talking about. What is the Darkhold?
I just saw this on Twitter. Apparently, like, it was a big plot point in Agents of Shield. I never watched it, so I don't really know.
I also
thought-
know that there's like a screen grab from Doctor Strange where he's looking at a bunch of books and one book is missing.
Yes,
Is
yes,
that
yes.
the same thing that you're talking about?
No,
Okay.
but I think like that's like in the MCU, but like Agents of Shield specifically like name dropped like this is the Darkhold, but apparently it looks
Mhm.
really different. So everyone's like, oh, like that's probably not the same thing, and this is probably them saying that Agents of Shield is not part of the MCU officially.
Okay.
No, I'm more. I mean, how many? You have to imagine there's probably more than one coven, so there's probably more than one of these books. It's probably
Well,
not.
is it per coven though? Because like Olivia was saying, there was a thing where it's like people think it was like from like not from necessarily a coven, but it was like a special like sacred book from like the sorcerers. I
mean,
don't know.
Out that there's only one copy. I wouldn't be surprised.
Hopefully we'll find out more.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out more. That we have. I'm sure we haven't seen the end of that book or any of that. Like
Oh,
Sam
no,
said, this leads
100%
right
will
into
come
the
back.
next movie. But
They haven't started filming that movie, so.
Yeah, next movie's Spider-Man, I think.
next movie's Black Widow.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
But
forgot
that's a
about that.
prequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
because
they started filming Hawkeye and Thor recently.
Yes.
They're both currently filming.
Mm-hmm. And I believe Miss Marvel is also filming right now.
No, I think they just casted that. There's like actually been
Because I saw set footage of that.
You saw set footage? Oh, I haven't seen that for that one
Yeah.
yet.
Anyway, we're getting really off track right now.
We're so off track. I'm so sorry. I love Marvel too much.
So what else happens in episode 9? Wanda has a panic attack because the townspeople all wake up. Agatha wakes them all up. And
Yeah.
they're all just like, put us out of our misery. So Wanda opens up the hex so all the people can leave. But because she opened it up, Sword and the military come back in and they start
And-
attacking her. White Vision's back and Agatha's back. And in typical Marvel fashion, you have all the villains kind of have their counterparts to the heroes and they all start fighting.
And also because she opened it, Vision and the boys are starting to like disintegrate because they're attached to the hex.
Mm-hmm. So then she closes it again.
Yeah.
So White Vision and Vision have their little tiff in the library. White Vision has like a moral awakening and then he jets out. He eats out. We have no idea where he is. I'm sure he'll be back eventually. And yeah,
Well, you
that's,
forgot the whole moral awakening where normal
Vision. Yeah.
gives him like his memories back.
yes.
So
Yeah.
White Vision actually has his memories up until he died.
Mm-hmm. But he still lacks the humanity
Hex.
of Vision.
Yeah, well, he's like the real Vision, which is
Yeah.
like problematic.
Just without the Mind Stone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, neither of them have the Mind Stone.
But
Yeah.
I think that was what gave Vision the humanity they were saying. And because Wanda's powers derive from the Mind Stone, when she reformed Vision in the Hex,
Mhm.
he still had that humanity.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's actually a defining factor because she ends up creating the boys and their humanity. So I don't think it's that. I think maybe. Oh, interesting. New theory. So you're saying that the Mind Stone gave Vision power to have humanity. Maybe the Mind Stone gave Wanda the power to make humanity.
Maybe, but
Maybe
also
that's
it
what
could be
that-
because she's the Scarlet Witch, though, which we find out
Yeah,
means that
that's
she's
true.
capable of
Yes.
spontaneous creation.
But
I don't exactly get.
Spontaneous creation does not mean like you can end up making a creation like a golem that has like no thoughts. It's really just a servant. It's like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Mind Stone focuses her power into more humane creations.
So maybe it's like she has all the powers of the Scarlet Witch, but then on top of that, she has the Mind Stone, which can add humanity to everything.
But it's interesting because it's weird to think like, was she the Scarlet Witch before the Mind?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that because
Agatha seems to think so, and that the Mind Stone just awoke it.
I think that she probably was, because
well.
like when the bomb went off, like Agnes
She
said
turned
that
it
she was
off.
still, or Agatha said she was still able to do like the probability hex without actually having to like say a spell or anything like that.
I really want to see what they're gonna talk about with the Scarlet Witch, because this is something that's not canon related, right? Like this is not something from the comics. This is entirely MCU.
It's like they're taking their own path because they had that
Yeah.
weird deal, so now they have to like they're choosing what they want now and like adding some stuff and things like that.
But for us theorists, it's kind of hard then to figure out what exactly it means.
Mhm.
Well, so in the comics, she's actually Magneto's daughter, so she's just so there's no like.
But there's a whole thing with that too, where she might not actually be Magneto's and might actually be partial Professor X. I read too. It's a whole thing.
There's so much in the comics.
A lot going on. Yeah.
I try to follow the comics, but it's a lot. And it's like at one point I wanted to like start comics, but it's like, where do I even start? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so next part is Hayward tries to attack Wanda.
Oh yes.
So the boys, Wanda tells the boys to take care of it. Monica's like, no, boys, don't shoot at the boys. And so Hayward actually shoots Monica, and her eyes turn yellow, and the bullets go through her.
Yeah. So what was that yellow?
I'm very confused on what her powers are. Like, I know they're going to explain this later, but I'm very confused.
I think it's energy manipulation. She's able to like change the energy of things, and so like she can see energy, and so it's like dependent upon what's happening. I watched it with my roommate, and she mentioned that it looked very like Black Panther, Eric Killmonger-esque. Remember Panther, Eric Killmonger's suit when he like was attacked with like kinetic energy, it turned yellow.
Yeah.
So maybe the slowing of the kinetic energy was why she saw yellow. Maybe electricity is blue. Maybe magic is purple.
That's interesting.
Every color is different.
And that makes sense too, because like everyone's predicting that her like superhero name is going to be Photon, just because in episode 4 we see that her mom Maria, her like nickname was Photon. So everyone thinks that she's going to use her comic superhero name as Photon, and Photon is kind of a form of light energy, so that kind of makes sense.
I actually did not know that at all. So I just came up with my theory, and it totally fits into Photon.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah, and then it's cool. We see Billy and Tommy kind of use their powers a little bit too, not nearly to the level of like Quicksilver or Wanda or anything like that, but it's cool. Like they're learning.
Yeah, it looks very much like The Incredibles when they do like the whole team up.
Yeah.
Cool.
So then Darcy crashes into Hayward because Darcy's in the hex. She finally gets back to the town center after she's been blockaded by the children in the construction for like 2 episodes.
Oh, I was talking about that with my roommate. We were like talking about like, wow, where is Darcy? And then she just came out of left field in the funnel cake truck.
I think that's her one scene in the whole episode.
Yeah, that was her one scene. She didn't come back at the end.
But also, so a funny thing is that like when the hex isn't there, we see that she's actually in like a military truck, like a tank.
Or
like an armored vehicle, that's what it is. But I just will remember like the whole thing with the Kevlar and Monica's clothing, that you don't change the structural integrity, you just change what it looks like.
Yeah.
So even as the funnel cake truck, it still like was strong enough to what's the word?
To slam into him.
Crash.
Yeah, to slam into. That was the word I was thinking of. But yeah, so the armored vehicle looking like a funnel cake truck hit the other one.
This
Very
seems like
good.
a tiny bit of a plot
Yeah.
hole, but how is Hayward not able to get out of that? Like, there's another door on the other side of the car that he could have
Hayward
left.
is stupid because we need
Yes.
it to be. That's okay.
Like, I'm fine with him being stuck there and getting arrested at the end, but like, there was a good like 15 minutes of screen time before he got arrested and like the FBI came in. Could he not get out on the other side of the car?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Agatha,
okay,
next thing
so
you
I
know,
think that-
Agatha and Wanda are in the sky.
I'm gonna say I think that's the only thing we've left to describe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, but of the fight scene.
Yes.
Yes. So pretty much they start fighting. There was a comment about you have the power, but I have the knowledge, which is pretty much Agatha being like, I'm gonna win because brain brawn, but like, haha, you suck. This whole time Agatha's trying to like convince Wanda to just give her magic. Wanda's like, no, I'm gonna keep my magic. Like, this is mine. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not the Scarlet Witch. And then she starts talking about, oh, I forget the order this happens in. What was the point in which Wanda goes, yeah, I'm just gonna give it up? What happens before that?
I think I don't really remember. There was a lot of exposition there.
There's a lot that's happened.
We see her go back to the coven, like 1600s.
Oh yeah, because that's like on the top of the roof
yeah, I forgot
before they get into the sky.
Yes, so she takes over Agatha's memory, which is very like reminiscent of when she was still Hydra in Ultron. Like she's like her like deepest fears and like everything.
Yeah.
But then Agatha turns it on her because the next thing you know is it's Wanda at the stake being like hurt by the witches, and
they're all like Scarlet Witch, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and then Wanda gets out of that little dream sequence.
Yeah. And then Sam, I think then she's like, I'll give it to you.
I think she said, if you want my power, take it. And then so she pretty much just starts attacking Agatha. Like,
because Agatha can absorb her magic.
Yeah,
Wanda's
Agatha
magic.
can absorb her magic. And so I noticed, I thought what was gonna happen was that she was gonna like overload Agatha and be like, oh, you can't handle this magic. And it was just gonna like all go back to Wanda. But turns out that she was hitting the hex and hitting Agatha. So Agatha was like taking a lot of her magic, but as she was like attacking Agatha, she was making runes on the hex. Learn in episode 7, she who makes the runes is she who can do magic. And so
definitely misquoted, but yes, the point.
Hey, I was impressed that Wanda quoted it correctly. I was like, she's gonna paraphrase this. You know, it happens.
It happens. What are you gonna do?
So pretty much, Wanda is like floating in the sky, like old as heck, very
drained,
drained of her power. I was confused how she was still floating. Like,
me too.
I was like, why aren't you plummeting to the ground? You don't have magic anymore. And Agatha's like feeling this magic, and she goes, okay, I'm gonna like kill you now. And she tries to use her magic. And then it's like, nope, guess who has the runes? And then somehow, for some reason that isn't explained, Wanda just reabsorbs all of the magic.
Yeah.
She takes it all back, and next thing you know, she's wearing her Scarlet Witch outfit that we see in episode 8. And when she gets the Mind Stone, she sees a vision of a woman. It turns out that is Scarlet Witch at that moment, pretty much, where she was getting her powers.
Did you guys see that the whole time that Marvel's been hiding that she's going to become Scarlet Witch within the promotional picture?
No.
So if you look at the picture with the stacked,
I've seen that.
Her costume is in two of the TVs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like pointed that out before I started watching the TV because I saw it last week on Trending. I was like, oh my god, that's gonna happen. Crazy.
And it did.
And it did.
Yeah. So Agatha and Wanda go back to the ground. Agatha's she can't use her powers because of the runes. So Wanda's like, yeah, you're gonna live out the rest of your life as Agnes, the nosy neighbor. And then Agatha's pleading like, you're gonna need me because you're gonna destroy the world and you're gonna need someone to teach you. And Wanda's like, and if I do, you'll know where to find me, which is interesting because most of the villains in Marvel kind of die, but she's still alive. So
I
that's
heard that she might be like the new Loki now. Like the
I feel like she's
amphitheater.
definitely gonna come back because
No,
fans.
I think that Wanda is gonna actually end up needing her. So she's gonna go to her every so often to teach. She'll be like,
No, I agree.
I think she'll go to her as a teacher, and so she really will become Wanda's teacher, like at the comics.
And fans love Catherine Hahn. Like everyone
Yeah.
loves her.
Oh, Catherine Hahn's great.
Yeah, so she turns Agatha back into Agnes, the nosy neighbor, and Westview starts to slowly dismantle. So Wanda, Vision, and the family go back to the house. Vision and Wanda tuck the kids in. They have a nice moment, and then as they're about to close the door, they see the hex kind of coming in. We already know that if the hex closes, that the family will cease to exist. And Vision knows this, the kids know this, but they have a nice moment with the kids. It's like a nice final moment, at least for WandaVision, with the kids. They say goodnight, turn the lights off.
Thank you for choosing me as your mom.
Yeah, thank you for choosing me as your mom. Great quote.
Great quote. And I did it correctly.
Yes, you quoted that one correct. Yeah, so that's the last we see of the kids. Then Wanda and Vision have a nice moment. Lots of romantic dialogue. I'm sure a bunch of people are gonna get that like tattooed on their bodies at some point.
Oh my God! Stop.
My 3:30 a.m. Sleep deprivation. I was sobbing. So.
And yeah, so her and
Vision.
Vision.
To say goodbye to her in the light. He just wanted to say last time.
Oh, so sad.
But also, he makes the comment like, "Last time I said goodbye, I said hello again."
Yeah.
So foreshadow. Vision's not done. Also, we don't know where White Vision is, and like.
Yeah, he just left.
Surprised if Wanda's able to re-imbue him with memories.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back.
Sure, he'll be back. But I hope he's not White Vision anymore because honestly, it's kind of creepy to look at.
Yes.
I think it'll take some getting used to. So, yeah, so she says goodbye to Vision. She wakes up back in the empty lot where she built her house in Westview. She goes back to Town Square. She sees Monica one last time. And before the FBI can come in, she flies away. Yeah, so that's the last we see of.
Well.
That's the last kind of that we see of Wanda before the end of the episode in the post credits. Yeah.
But the first post credit scene is Monica. Monica is walked up to by a sword superior, and pretty much, Monica's being invited up to whatever they call their
leader. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
To like the alien spaceship that Nick Fury was on at the end of From Home. Every time I think of it, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with DC, but the Justice League have a headquarters in space called the Watchtower. And that's just funny. What I think of. It's like the Marvel equivalent of the Watchtower.
So we are assuming that the person that the Skrull was talking about was Nick Fury?
No, I don't think it's Nick Fury necessarily, but that's where she's going, the same place he was.
Okay.
I think it could be. She was talking about Captain Marvel.
Well, she said he, I think.
Oh, did he? Did she? I don't remember.
I think the Skrull said he.
But I don't think it was a Skrull. I thought it was a Kree.
Oh, it was a Skrull.
No, it was a Skrull because the Kree can't shapeshift.
Wait, I thought the whole thing with Captain Marvel is that the Kree were the shapeshifters, the Skrull were the bad ones.
No, well, that's what you think, but then you find out in Captain Marvel.
No. I know what you're talking about, but I'm talking about like who were the shapeshifters?
Skrulls.
Okay. Well, I'm saying the wrong thing.
Whoever are the good people who are friends with.
Yeah, those are the Skrulls.
The Rambos, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're Skrulls. I just looked it up.
So obviously we know Monica's coming back in Captain Marvel too. But do you guys think that she's also going to be back in Secret Invasion, the Nick Fury Disney Plus series that'll be out eventually?
Ooh.
Oh, 100%, as long as she survives Captain Marvel.
Well, I think Secret Invasion comes out first.
Okay.
Oh, well then yes, 100%. And then that will 100%, he is definitely Nick Fury or Talos.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it could be Talos too, but it's one
the
of
whole
them.
thing is based off the interaction at the end of Far From Home. It sounds like Nick Fury is actually the superior. He's like higher up. Because Talos was almost like being like deferential to him. Like deferring to him.
Yeah.
I feel like a part of me though, like it at the end of the day, it probably will just be Nick Fury. But I feel like if it was like they would have just name dropped Nick Fury because it's not like he has like a fun cameo or anything like that. It's like he's been in literally everything. Like people know who he is.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
also like it's also like not a big secret, but I think the reason they don't name drop it is because not everyone knows that Nick Fury is associated with Sword.
It was just very
True.
vague.
It
It
was
was
really
very
vague,
vague.
and it leaves the door wide open for much more Monica Rambeau stories, which I'm sure we're going to get because her superpowers weren't explored really whatsoever.
Hey, if it's energy manipulation, I like
It'll be
deserve
cool.
a party. No, I
Yeah.
deserve a party for getting it right.
Sure, I think you and a lot of people do.
I
um,
haven't seen anyone that guessed that yet, so okay.
so after this is another post-credit scene. So that was the mid-credit scene, and then the
Mhm.
post-credit scene. We're in a very nice place. Do we know where?
Something in the mountains.
Yeah.
So me and my roommate, we think it might be New Asgard because she had like very like
Oh,
Nordic-looking markings on the doors.
interesting.
I did not examine it that in depth, but you could be right.
It was very
Well,
pretty.
It was very pretty, and like the area was really pretty. Like it looked a lot like Scandinavia, maybe like ice,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's probably far away from New Jersey, though.
Oh, it's not New Jersey. We don't got snow-topped mountains. Come on.
We're a big fan of New Jersey on this podcast, Sam.
Roundtable
Just so you
episode
know.
3. Everyone check it out.
Wait, I saw I didn't watch it yet, but I'm going to, and I appreciate it a lot.
Anyway, back to the post-credit scene.
Post-credit scene.
So we see Wanda's
Wanda.
kind of physical form, making tea, moving the kettle.
So is that what it is? It's not like her just like making like a double for herself, so that
No, I saw that it was
Yeah.
her. It was her physical form,
Astral.
kind of doing like the normal home stuff, whatever. And then we see in the back room her astral form, like as we saw in Doctor Strange, that you had your
Yeah.
astral form as well. Her astral form was like reading the Darkhold and doing all this like witch
Studying.
stuff,
Yeah.
just studying. And
In
you
the
hear
costume.
in her costume, and at the very end, you hear her children screaming and her kind of looking up, and then cut to black.
So are we to assume? Well, we already know she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes.
Yes.
We've never seen Doctor Strange able to like do anything while he's astral projecting.
We've never been correct. We've never seen that.
So
thus
that's already more powerful. I mean, we already knew that because
Mhm.
Agatha said it, but this is just proving it. Like she's making tea while like reading.
Mhm. I don't want to undercut Wanda's abilities because I love Wanda and Scarlet Witch, but in Doctor Strange defense, we only saw his first movie, which for the bulk of the movie was him really just learning how to become a sorcerer in the first place. Like I feel like
that's true.
I feel like we haven't really seen the bulk of his powers yet.
And we did see him in Infinity War, going through all of the timelines, right?
Because in Endgame, technically, he did like sure Iron Man saved the day, but he's the one who put the plan in place for Iron Man to save the day.
Yeah.
So like technically Doctor Strange did save the day for the entire first 22, 23 movies.
Yes. I agree.
Good for him. Could I bring up my one theory from the beginning?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, hi podcast. If anyone remembers when we first see Jimmy Woo, when Monica meets him for the first time outside of Westfield, he says he's here because of a witness protection case. Someone's under witness protection. Okay. Well, what I thought was funny was that we have the whole thing with Quicksilver isn't actually Quicksilver. Pietro turns out to be Ralph. I thought it was weird that Ralph laughed at his last name. Okay. Who would do that normally? Unless it was just a stupid joke, which it easily could have been. I'm wondering if he was under witness protection and that was a fake name.
No, I think he's an actor, and I think that was his headshot, and that's his acting name. Because if you're under witness protection, like, you don't usually just have pictures of yourself sitting around.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird that he laughed at his name, and I'm really, really wanted him to be part of the multiverse.
Well, that would be really cool.
But yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it still could be. I read somewhere, I don't think this is confirmed whatsoever, but I read on Twitter that apparently the show was supposed to be longer, but they had to cut some stuff out because they had to rearrange the order because of COVID and everything of like the releases. So they had to cut some stuff out that kind of, I guess, would have related to some of the movies or what shows that were previously released up until this point. So maybe like stuff like that could have been better explained. And also people are saying that, oh, maybe Agatha could have had some more humanity added to her and not just exposition. But people are theorizing that because of the whole COVID arrangement, they had to cut some stuff out.
Yeah, I really wonder what's in Black Widow, if there's going to be anything that adds to like the overall plotline of this new phase, or
I
if
think
it's
like there will
strictly
be
in the
because we're getting
past.
the new Black Widow, Florence Pugh.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know. Because they're clearly gearing up for Young Avengers, which brings me to the next question. We all know that the kids are probably going to come back. Like I'm 100% confident on that. But like,
Vision has to come back too.
yes, but like, how do you think the kids specifically are
I
going
think they
to
have
be
to be
reintroduced?
teenagers.
Because I thought we were going to see teenage versions of them in this episode, but we did not. So I'm just curious, like, I guess, do we think they're going to be brought back? Do you think that Doctor Strange 2 is going to be like Wanda trying to like find her kids, and because of that she's kind of breaking open the multiverse? Because we clearly see that her kids are what's kind of guiding her actions at the end of this, at the end of WandaVision.
For the children.
For the children. Wow, what a callback.
Yeah, there's also a plot line in the comics where after the whole Mephisto thing, which we know isn't with this plot of the TV show, but there's this idea that the souls of the kids are put into new bodies. And I wonder, could that maybe have something to do? Maybe that, I don't know. I'm rambling again, but yeah, in the comics, they are reintroduced. Like I know Billy becomes Billy Kaplan. Like he has a whole different life that he's like basically reincarnated. I don't know if they would do that. It seems pretty complicated, honestly. But
well, like 10 years ago, 10 years ago, who would have thought they would have even done WandaVision? So
true.
I think they might do it solely based on the fact that like it's like widely considered. Well, first off, the next Doctor Strange movie is called Multiverse of Madness. So like multiverse is definitely going to be confirmed.
Yeah.
Also, Spider-Man 3, like 100%.
What is happening with that?
Is 100% having all three Spider-Man. So that's multiverse.
I thought they were, but Tom Holland denied that. And not that Marvel stars haven't lied to us before, but it seems out of character for Tom to lie.
No, well, I saw like a whole thing that like Andrew Garfield was like in the area when they were shooting.
They're also shooting in New York, though. Like New York's a
they're shooting in New York? I thought they were in Atlanta.
They're in both, I think.
Let's just go and be in the background.
Honestly, let's get all the scoop. You guys will hear it here first. They cannot make us sign an NDA. Also, fun little tidbit. I'm not sure if you guys realize this. I think I saw this on like Film Theorists, but Multiverse of Madness, MOM, mom.
Whoa.
Fun little thing.
Also, Wanda's little.
Is there something to that I don't know?
What, Sam?
Why is it mom?
That's just what it spells.
That's like the acronym of Multiverse of Madness. So everyone's like, oh, so this is going to be about Wanda trying to get back her kids and like basically breaking open the multiverse.
Okay, that's a stupid reason to have that theory.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Doctor Strange 2, mom.
Also, Evan Peters has a mom tattoo.
Oh, he did, but apparently that's his real tattoo.
Yeah. It's because of this, though.
Yeah, totally.
There's no other explanation here.
Yeah, so before we wrap up, does anyone else have any just fun little theories, Easter eggs, what's coming next, anything like that?
Well, I hope we see Darcy again in Thor.
I hope so too.
Monica Rambeau will either be in Captain Marvel or, well, definitely Captain Marvel.
Yeah, we know she's confirmed for Captain Marvel too.
Definitely, probably Secret War 2.
Yeah, Secret Invasion. Yeah.
Secret Invasion. And then Wanda
Jimmy will probably be back in Wanda and Doctor Strange 2. Jimmy will probably be back in Ant-Man 3.
When's that coming?
True. I think
it's down the pipeline.
Okay.
Yeah, Vision will definitely be back.
I saw something the other day that like if he like keeps doing like being Vision, like which I mean at this point it seems like he's gonna be going on for a little bit more.
Well, I know in the comics Vision led the Young Avengers, and it seems like they're definitely leading up to a Young Avengers.
Well, so I saw like a thing that like makes me think that he's gonna obviously come back because there's a thing that he might be breaking the record for longest superhero.
Yeah, I thought he was like.
But he's only at 13 years right now.
Does it do his Jarvis years count?
Yeah.
Yes, Jarvis counts.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jarvis is like memories.
Yeah, I guess.
No,
And
'cause then
so-
he acted in the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s.
If Bucky sticks around though, Winter Soldier, he's been here for a while too.
Mm.
I feel like he shows up
Oh,
everywhere.
that's true. That's true. But I don't think he's been as nearly as many.
Oh,
Because I know
wait, no, Loki.
Oh yeah,
Loki
Loki's
came
also been
out
here for a
very
while.
early. And then
Well, but Jarvis
obviously
is still the
Storm.
oldest because Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis is the
one is-
oldest, but he might not
original
have the most
Iron
appearances,
Man.
if that makes sense.
No, I think he does.
I guess we'll see.
Well, so anyway, the current record is 16 years held by Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart.
Ooh.
Yeah, as of the last X-Men movie.
What's the oldest in the MCU?
Jarvis, it has to be.
Is it not Iron Man? Or I guess Iron Man's dead now.
Are we talking about number of appearances or number?
I'm doing number of
years older
appearances.
people?
I'm doing appearances.
Oh, I don't know.
Because like, sure, he was alive,
Fury.
but like, he wasn't there.
Also, can I share a fun fact that doesn't have to do with anything?
Sure.
Oh, I was right.
anyone-
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury?
Nick Fury has been in 10, and then Steve Rogers / Captain America was a 9. Thor is an 8. War Machine is an 8. Jarvis / Vision is an 8. Where's Iron Man?
Probably 7.
Yes, but how is
Because he wasn't with Vision now.
But how has what's his name been in more?
Well, are they counting the fact that what's his name is getting his own series? Like, are they already counting that one? Because he'll be in Armor Wars.
I don't think they would have counted it yet.
I don't know.
Wait, I'm looking.
Sure.
Anyway,
while you
Olivia, what
look-
were you gonna say?
Yeah, my fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, Paul Bettany's wife, Jennifer Connelly, plays Spider-Man's suit, like her voice, Karen, which I think is really cute because he plays Iron Man's voice, and then his wife plays.
Wait, you're telling
Spider-Man.
me that Paul Bettany's wife is Karen from Spider-Man?
Yes.
Stop.
How cute is
Oh my
that?
god! Wait, I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Also, check out Snowpiercer, starring Jennifer Connelly, if you haven't already.
I liked the movie. Never watched the show.
I'm watching the show now. I like it. She's great.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it wasn't listed before, but currently Nick Fury and Tony Stark are tied for 10 appearances out of the 23.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Interesting.
Nick Fury's gonna beat him real soon.
Yeah, because Nick
Yeah.
Fury's not dead, and he's clearly showing up in everything still. So,
Yeah.
like, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No, I would totally not be surprised.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up those two TV shows that are coming out right now.
Yeah.
I wonder how much is going to tie into what's going on here.
You know what? I wonder who they're gonna count as appearing in Loki though, because Loki is supposed to be like he's just gonna be in every event. Like we've already know
Yeah.
he's in the airport during Civil War. So like, are they gonna count those actors as being in that movie, or are they just gonna be like?
No, I feel like they're just gonna count it as Loki because, like, in the movie, we didn't see him.
No. But so, have you seen the trailer for Loki?
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of like appearances, because he didn't appear in that movie.
No. I'm not saying they're gonna count him as appearing in Civil War, but are they gonna count like Captain America as being in Loki?
Well, maybe
Because you can see him through the window.
I mean,
but-
if they filmed
Sure.
new scenes, maybe.
Well, if they film new scenes, I doubt
Because
it.
do
Like
they
body
count
doubles.
Jane Foster in Endgame?
Good point.
Because she didn't film anything for that, but she was still in it.
Oh, I don't know. This is only top 10 people, so I don't know if they count.
Oh yeah, she's only been in like 3 things at max. She'll be back, but
She will be back.
Well, she's the main character of Love and Thunder.
yep. Okay, so yeah, I
Oh.
guess just to wrap it up, WandaVision was great. Love the series. What did you rating out of 10? What do you guys say? I give it a 8.5 just because I know that they can do better things, and I'm excited for the next movie.
Oh, I was gonna
Overall.
give it an 8 because I thought it
give
was
an
pretty damn good.
8.5.
I was very impressed with a lot of it. I think the finale might have had a couple, maybe not plot holes, but it didn't feel complete in certain elements. So I guess I will do an 8.3.
Okay, nice. So we have a range of 8 to 8.5. Basically, that means it was good. There's always room for improvement. But yeah, so that was WandaVision. What an exciting ride. These past 8 weeks have honestly been fun. I liked watching
Yeah.
it.
Me too.
I really enjoy this. I don't know what I'm gonna do next Friday.
Well, next Friday they're coming out with the making of WandaVision, and I'm probably just gonna watch that to get my
Yeah.
WandaVision fix or my Marvel fix in for the week.
No, I think I'm gonna avoid it. I don't like watching the director's cuts.
Oh, I love watching.
Oh, I
the
like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Oh.
like that was my favorite part of The Mandalorian.
Oh, I never watched The Mandalorian.
Neither
I
did
would
I.
also recommend that.
Yeah, so I hope you all liked this. We're definitely blabbering at parts, but hey, we're very passionate.
Yes.
And we also, as you can tell, get confused a lot. So it's good to have us all here so we can kind of figure it out all together. But yeah, thank you all for listening. If you have any comments or if we're stupid and we said anything wrong or we forgot anything, definitely leave it in the comments below. If you guys like this, maybe we'll do this again for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe we'll do it on like a weekly basis or something. Who knows? We'll figure it out once we get there. But Olivia, Sam, and I all love Marvel, and I'm sure we would all talk about it for hours. So,
so many conversations I could
Yeah.
have.
so yeah, thank you all for watching. As always, definitely if you have any questions, let us know. And normally this is a learning channel, but we're spicing it up today. So this is fun. But yeah, if you're interested in some other learning topics, definitely check us out. Check us out on our website, I Feel Like Productions. And yeah, thank you guys all for listening. See you later. Bye.